So many of us find it so hard to stay focused. We know what we want, we know how to get there. It's just something else ends up happening. We get distracted, we procrastinate. Anything else will come up and steal your attention away from what you want to get from your life. So this video is going to really help you to understand why it is that you drift off and don't commit to what you want to get. And also, I'm going to share with you 5 helpful hints that are going to help you to stay on point and get to your end goal. First step, keeping your attention on point. And this is something which you have to grow, almost like a muscle. When you start doing this, you're going to get distracted. You're going to want to do anything else except that thing that you want to do. Your phone will make a noise, Netflix will be calling you, or someone will shout you and say, can you help me with something? Can you do something? And in some moments when you feel pressured and stressed, of course you want someone to save you. You're desperate for something to pop up, a notification, a friend request, anything that keeps you away from what you want to do. So, keeping your attention will be really hard at first. Something that I do is I put my phone away. I don't let anyone contact me when I'm doing, for example, a YouTube video, or when I'm seeing my clients, when I'm doing something that I need to do, no distractions, nothing. That's really helped me just to stay on point and to ride through that anxiety, because otherwise when anxiety pops up, your brain is designed to do anything except stay on point. So build in that attention. Put yourself in the easiest way to do that. As I said, I get rid of all the things that lead me to get distracted, but it goes beyond that, because when those harder to deal with emotions come up, you end up just doing anything else to get away from that feeling. So you need to get used to it. Get used to feeling anxious, stressed, angry even. And when you do feel that, instead of going off and doing something else, focus on the point at hand. Do that thing, because when it's done, you're going to feel so much better in the end. You're not going to want to distract yourself from anything, because you're going to get so much validation from completing things, finishing it. And once that happens, you're going to go on to the next thing. And then no matter what happens, you're going to stay on point. And this leads us nicely onto step number 2, which is to keep your emotional state in check. As I just said, when you get frustrated, angry, bored even, you end up procrastinating doing anything else. But if you keep your emotional state on point, then there's less chance of that happening. As an example, something that I tell all my clients, if there's a lion behind me, I'm not listening to what they've got to say. If there was a lion behind me, I wouldn't be finishing this video. I'd be getting up and getting out of there as quick as possible. Fear would push me away to do something else, to make sure that I feel safe. This is the same thing that's happening to you when your phone clicks on, when something else happens. You end up doing that thing because your brain's going, I need to get away from this situation, or that other thing in the short term is going to give me so much more validation, gain, happiness than me sitting here and trying to work this thing out. So in order to stay focused, you need to make sure that emotionally you're on point and you feel safe enough to put this into the next step, to keep on going. As an example, I make sure my desk is nice and tidy, I have no distractions around, and emotionally I feel ready to take on the day. That means that I can get a video done, see my clients, exercise, do everything that I need to do in order to stay happy, in control, and on point with where I want to get to. Next, priorities. If your priorities are not finishing the thing you need to do, you need to check and make sure that that thing's that important. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that thing that you want to achieve, the thing that you are stopping from being motivated and driven to go out and get, is the most important thing in your life in the long term. In the short term, you need to make sure you're prioritizing that long-term goal as the number one most important thing, so that when someone calls you and says, do you want to come out and play football, watch some TV, play Xbox, do something else, you're thinking to yourself, well, that's fun, but it's not the most important thing at the moment. My priority is finishing this task. And to be blunt with you, when you get that task done, not only are you going to feel better because you'd have got it done and gone to that next step, but also when you go and play that video game, watch TV, or have fun, you're going to end up having more fun, because in the back of your head, you're not going to be thinking about that thing that you should have prioritized over having fun. So it's going to mean that you're going to get that task done, go on to that next step, but also have more fun and better connections with people when you finished it. Because again, just like having fun thinking about something else, if you're trying to talk to someone and all you can think about is that homework that you need to do, the work assignment you need to get done, or the exercise that you haven't done yet, you're going to feel guilty, ashamed, and you're not going to be concentrating on what that person has to say. You're going to be thinking about what you should have done. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel upset. You're going to get angry at yourself. And when you get angry at yourself, you end up procrastinating more, and it stops you and taints that thing that you want to go out and get, because it scares you. You think, I don't want to put my mind to doing that thing or anything else because I'm going to end up feeling bad anytime I try and do it. So important in order to stay on point and to make sure you keep motivated, to make sure that whatever task you're doing fills you with happiness, success, joy, and excitement, so that you're not putting it off in case you make a mistake or you don't prioritize it. Step 4, take choice out. Because just like I've been talking about in terms of prioritizing other things, friends coming to you and asking you to do something with them, or just doing anything else except that important thing, if you have a choice, you're always going to pick that easier option. So once you take the choice out, the only thing you can do is that bigger task, that thing that you know you should be doing, then all you have is that thing to do. Therefore, it makes it so much more likely you're going to go and do it. Think about it like this. If I said to you, okay, put the books down and you just have to look at a wall for the next hour, you probably end up picking up that book again because you know that you're going to be so bored looking at the wall. Nothing's going to change. There's no potential of anything different happening. So then, if you take the choice out and think, well, all I can do is this thing. All I can do is that next step. Okay, it fills you with anxiety, fear, dread, and you're scared about getting something wrong, but it's better than staring at a wall, right? It's all you can do. Therefore, you're going to end up having fun doing that thing. Just think, before the internet, we didn't have anything like that in order to distract ourselves with. So we ended up just getting on and doing the things that we should have been doing. Now the internet's here, we feel it's a choice. Just think, no choice, all you can do is that one thing that you know you should be doing, it means it's done. Then once it's done, you can go on, go on the internet, do that thing, procrastinate, have fun. And that fun will be so much richer because you'd have finished that task. Remember, choice is something that fills so many of us with happiness and excitement, but actually gets in the way of us achieving our longer term tasks. And the last step is to split that job into lots of little tasks, because when you have a big job to do, you end up procrastinating because it feels so big. It fills you with so much anxiety. You've got so much to do. So in the end then, you end up going, well, I'll do it later because I'm too anxious or scared or frustrated or it's too much. It puts too much pressure on you. Therefore, you split it into little bits. It might take half an hour or so to split it into the most important things, work out the next steps, then you can just finish that one step. And that one step could fill up most of your day. It could end up being doing one of those steps a day. In a week, you've done 5 steps. In a month, that's 20. And you've had the weekend off too. Just think about that. You've done 20 steps in 1 month. How many steps have you done in the last month? I'm not sure. But once you start splitting things into smaller tasks, they become more manageable, more fun, and more achievable. Because these big projects that we've all got, we know that we should be doing. In the end, you end up just feeling scared about them because they're so big. How am I going to go from being overweight to having a six-pack? Well, I need to go to the gym and do everything. That's never going to happen because it takes time to know what you do, get your form right, exercise well, get your calories down. You need to go one step at a time. And that one step at a time means you are more likely to stick at it and you're more likely to stay focused on it too. What we're talking about here is you having a different mindset in life. We need to start putting you in the best position to go out and get that thing. And that means making sure that you're emotionally safe. You don't procrastinate. You keep the priorities on point, and also that you feel that you can do it. All of these steps are going to allow you to feel that you have the power to go out and get that thing, do it, achieve it, and live a happier life and a more content life. Because happiness comes and goes. Contentment will mean that you know that you have the confidence to go out and do it. Stay on point. Know that you are good enough to go out and do it. When that fear comes up, don't get scared. Just know that it's the necessary step in order to get that thing done. And these steps will help you to negotiate that fear, stay on point, and get to that end point. That's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Anything that you're struggling with, let me know and I'll answer your question in a future video. Also, remember to like this video, subscribe, see plenty more to come. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.